Today we're on one of my favorite tools, the table saw, and I'm going to be using this SawStop PCS to show you that table saws are not just for cutting straight lines. Now, most of us, if we were going to be making a molding, say for a crown molding or some picture frames or something, we would walk over to our router table, start shaping up some stock, gluing it together, and there's our molding. Or if we were super groovy or hard school old style, we'd go to our shaper with one of those big, expensive cutters. But it's my contention that table saws are really the best way to shape moldings using the cove cutting technique. For example, I've got this box here. It's an upcoming project in Woodworker's Journal magazine. I did all of this shaping on the table saw, but specifically this cove right here was made using a cove cutting jig. Now some of you might be asking how a straight saw blade can cut a curved shape. The answer? Simple geometry. Okay, I almost failed that in high school. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. If you look diagonally across this table saw, the blade you can see describes an arc. If we could somehow run our wood across that blade, it would remove the wood in the shape of that arc. How do we control that weird cut? By placing a board diagonally on the saw at the angle we want and clamping it down as a fence. Some folks like to put a second fence on the other side. Or you can do like me and use the Rockler Cove Cutting Jig. It has tons of advantages over my ordinary MacGyver type strategy. First of all, it locks into the miter slots, so no clamping and reclamping. Secondly, it already has a left and a right fence. And it's got a nice hold down, but most importantly, it allows you to see the shape of your cut quickly and easily. The jig has this hold down, as I mentioned earlier, which is super useful on thinner stock, but it can be removed if you're using very thick stock. And the same thing is true of these articulating arms. Once you have the jig locked in place, you can swing them out of the way if needed. So enough talking, let's make some sawdust. To make the actual cove cuts, you need to do that in a series of shallow passes. If you have multiple pieces of wood, you want to have a sample block so you can match that cut and not go too deeply. Approach it slowly, and when you get to the last cut, try to make it just a tiny one and go very slow. It'll save you lots of time for sanding. So that's it. It's an easy technique, it's safe, and it adds a wonderful aspect to your woodworking skill sets. If you enjoyed today's video, we have more on rockler.com/learn, also on the Rockler YouTube channel, and as well, the Woodworker's Journal YouTube channel. One more thing before we go, on a more serious note. You, like me, might have some N95 masks in your shop. As you know, they're really important at hospitals and clinics right now. I'm donating mine. I hope that you might consider doing the same. I'm Rob Johnstone. Thank you for watching.